Hi guys and welcome back to the channel Help Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, 2 match reports from the 2 NRL games from Friday the 15th of April and scores and scorers from the Betfred Championship and the Betfred League One. And we're beginning the NRL for this episode as we are going to give you the reports for the 2 Friday games to begin with. And the first game we're going to look at is between the South Sydney Rabbitohs and the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs. The Rabbitohs are one of the few teams that are on 2 wins from their 5 games and are in 9th. While the Bulldogs have only got 1 win so far from their 5 games and go into the game with some changes made to the squad. So let's have a look at the teams. There we go. So we'll have a look at the Rabbitohs first, as Isaiah Tass has been promoted to the 17 on game day and will make his NRL debut. David Moale drops out. Sylvia Aviali is the 18th man. Blake Taft steps in for Latrell Mitchell at fullback, just as he did during the last year's final series. Army Selle is the other new face on the bench for this game. For the Bulldogs, Ave Suamanu Fage has been added to the 17 on game day, with Aaron Shupp dropping off the bench, with Corey Allen at 18th man. Corey Waddell dropped out on Thursday due to injury, and his place was taken in the second row by Chris Patolo. Kyle Flanagan again wears a number 7 shirt after an assured performance against the Panthers in round 5. So we're going to the first half, and in the early stages it was the Bulldogs doing all the attacking, and they opened the scoring on the 15th minute when halfback Kyle Flanagan delivered a perfectly timed pass over the top for Brett Naden to cross over in the right corner. The halfback sideline conversion made it 6-0. 6 minutes later, the Bulldogs threatened to extend their lead, but Braden Burns was held up just over the line. The Rabbitohs were also denied in the 25th minute when Keone Koloamatangi was pulled up for obstruction in the lead up to John Mansour crossing for his dot down. The Bulldogs went a man down on the 27th minute though, when Jeremy Marshall King was sin-binned, and it took the Rabbitohs just 3 minutes to capitalise when Damien Cook got over, ducking in from that dummy half. A break from Campbell Graham then set up the Cook for a second try in the space of 3 minutes, and the Rabbitohs were out to a 12-6 lead. 3 tries, no conversions. That comes to bite them at the end. Skipper Cameron Murray, 5'8" Cody Walker, and fullback Blake Tafe then combined on the right edge to put prolific winger Alex Johnston across for his 139th try of his career. Johnson made us a double early in the second half, courtesy of a Walker try assist, before Naden was denied a double of his own when he was ruled to have knocked the ball on into Taft before regathering it and touching down. With 14 minutes left to play on the game, Cook completed his hat-trick for first hat-trick of his 153 game career when he picked up the ball at the back of a scrum and caught the Bulldogs' defence napping. The Bulldogs refused to lie down though, and were rewarded with a try for Josh Adokar, who has now scored 14 tries in 11 games against the Rabbitohs. McKay products Isaiah Tass then put the icing on the cake for the Bunnings with a try on his debut as the score blew out, before Jeremy Marshall King grabbed a late consolation try for the Bulldogs. Among the positives for the Rabbitohs was the form of halfback Lachlan Ilias in just his 7th game of his career, while Koloamatangi and Murray were immense in the forward exchanges. Rabbitohs back row forward took to the field sporting a bandage on his cheek after spending the week in hospital with an infected cut. The bandage lasted a little more than one tackle, and by the 25th minute he was forced to leave the field as his cheek swelled up. The 27th minute sin binning of Jeremy Marshall-King was because Gerard Sutton, the referee, lost patience with the Bulldogs repeatedly committing infringements. Bulldogs forward Chris Patolo and Josh Jackson were involved in a sickening head clash as they attempted to make a tackle. Patolo left the field for a HIA while Jackson had a cut cleaned up, donning some headgear and battling on bravely to make 53 tackles. The Rabbitohs have now won 9 of their last 10 games at Accor Stadium. Liam Knight provided plenty of impact off the bench for the Rabbitohs with 21 runs and 202 metres ran in the 42 game minutes he played. At fullback, Matt Duffy enjoyed his best game of the season for the Bulldogs with 19 runs for 183 metres with 8 tackle breaks. But despite all those positives, unfortunately for the Bulldogs, the Rabbitohs came home victors 36 points to 16. With that, we move on to the second game of Friday as we see the Premiers in action as Penrith took on Brisbane Broncos for completing to continue their top of the league status and 100% record for Penrith. So for the Panthers, they made a couple of changes. Chris Smith was the last man cut an hour before kickoff, and Robert Jennings is the 18th man. The third successive week that the Premiers have fielded the same 17 as they look to build on their imposing 5 wins to 0 start to their title defence. For the Broncos, Herbie Farnworth was ruled out on Thursday with a leg cork, and his place in the centres is taken by Deloise Hoyter, who was making his Broncos debut. Payne Haas was not considered following the NRL's decision to impose sanctions following his involvement in an incident last month with teammate Albert Kelly. That was all over social media. It wasn't the nicest thing. Haas's place in the front row will be taken by Corey Jensen, with Reece Kennedy joining the interchange bench. Corey Oates and Adam Reynolds are right to play after taking knocks to the ankle and a knee respectively last week. So the first half started with a confident start by the Broncos, and they were rewarded with the first points on the 11th minute when Tessai Nui crossed from Katoni Staggs left after Katoni Staggs left Isaac Tago and Jerome Luai in his wake before offloading to his fullback. The Panthers clicked into gear in the 21st minute when Luai could beat a couple of defenders on his way to the line and scored to make the scoreline 6 points to 6. Staggs was in the thick of the action again on the 26th minute when he chased Neu's grubber and looked to have been given the Broncos the lead, but replay showed the Star Centre had lost the ball on his way to the ground. In the shadow of half-time, it was the Panthers getting the upper hand when Sorensen took a pass from Isaiah Yeo and raced 25 metres to score to make it 12 points to 6. 8 minutes into the second half, and both sides went a man down when Broncos prop Keenan Palacia and Panthers fullback Dylan Edwards were both sent to the sin bin. The Broncos had conceded a penalty for a flop before Edwards and Palacia had a difference of opinions and hit one another with an open hand slap to earn the ire of the referee Adam G. With Coruscant running riot for the Panthers, starting to pick up the Broncos defence apart, and it was Charlie Staines who was the beneficiary of a great lead-up work to cross on the 52nd minute. Nathan Cleary stamped his class on the game with a pinpoint crossfield kick to Tyler May to gather and score the home side's 4th try for a 22-6 lead. It was a fantastic pickup as well that May did for the try. It was like the Milford that did it for the top 10 where he picked it up with his right hand and next to his thigh when it was touched. He did it with his left hand, closer to the try line though. Anyway, Martin was the next to get his name on the scoreboard as the Panthers took complete control. The Broncos continued to hang tough though, as they pulled one back when Reynolds laid on a try for Stags with a well-weighted kick, but Spencer Leniu powered over from close range soon after to take the margin back to 22 points. A penalty try for Tago when he was pushed in the back by Stags rounded off the scoring for the Panthers. Nathan Cleary faces a nervous wait from the match review committee due to charges to be released on Sunday after he was placed on report with 14 minutes remaining for a hip drop tackle on Billy Walters. Broncos prop Corey Jensen started the game for just the 6th time in his 61 game career and was strong early on with 8 runs for 83 metres in his opening stint. Adam Reynolds produced a heads-up play in the 17th minute where he found touch with the dropout, with a goal line dropout to give Brisbane a scrum feed and ease the pressure off his side. Stephen Crichton has won all 19 games when he has played at the Bluebet Stadium. Panthers fullback Dylan Edwards continued his outstanding start to 2022, making 217 metres to take his tally up to 1,449 metres at an average of 241 metres per game. But Nathan Cleary cannot be put out of the headlines at any point in the game for great play, because he produced his first 40-20 of the season with a booming kick on the 63rd minute. That wasn't enough for the Broncos as they went down 40 points to 12 to the Panthers. We next come to the 4 games that were played in the Betfred Championship, as we see round 8 being played out for everyone to see. So the 4 games were Widnes versus Leigh, Featherstone Rovers versus Barrow, Batley Bulldogs played Dewsbury, and Bradford played Halifax. Leigh Centurions won unconvincingly against Widnes, 36 points to 6 at the Vikings home, with Higano, Chamberlain, McDonald, Asiata, Inu and Mella all scoring tries. Tristan Inu scored 6 conversions as well. It was Lawton's try, with Tyra scoring the only conversion for the points in the second half for Widnes. Featherstone resoundingly beats the Barrow Raiders 58 points to 6, with Barrow's tries from Towell and Samet kicking the conversion in the first half. It was Briscoe, Jacks with a hat-trick, Helliwell with 2, Jones, Lockwood, Wildy and Corella on his debut scoring tries for Featherstone. Craig Hall kicked 8 goals to give the 58 points to Featherstone. Batley Bulldogs faced the Dewsbury Rams and beat them 36 points to 20. 14 of the Dewsbury points came in the first half, but their odd 20 points came from Ryder and Carr for 2 tries and 3 tries in total, while Blackmore hit 1 conversion. Beryl hit 3 penalties to give the 20 points. It was Buchanan, Johnson, Walshaw, Ward and Campbell who got the tries for Batley, while Gilmore kicked 6 goals. And finally, the Bradford Bulls lost 17 points to 20 in their game against the Halifax Panthers. Despite leading 9 points to 8 at half-time through a try from Scott, a conversion and a penalty from Patton, plus a Lily drop goal, it was Halifax that came out as winners in the end, as we saw more McComb, Dufresne, 3 conversions and a penalty, all from Keys. Bradford had Crossley to thank for their second try. Patton scored another conversion and another penalty, but it wasn't enough for Bradford, as Halifax went out winners, 17 points to 20. We still have 3 games to finish off the weekend for the Championship, as Sheffield face the Broncos, as London travel up to Yorkshire. York and Newcastle face each other in a local as Newcastle can get rivalry. And finally, Workington face Whitehaven in a Cumbrian derby. And finally tonight we are going to go through the 2 fixtures and give you all the fixtures for the next few days from the League One 4th round. There was 2 games played on this Good Friday, as we saw Rochdale come out 34 points to 8 victors against their near rivals Oldham RLFC. The OL postcode derby saw Nixon, Sheridan score twice, McNally score twice, and Tyra getting on the scoreboard for Rochdale with their tries. Sheridan also kicked 4 conversions and 1 penalty. Oldham had Restall to thank for a hat-trick of tries, and Ridyard with 3 conversions. For the bragging rights in this fierce derby. And finally for Friday, Hunslet were beaten by Keighley Cougars 20 points to 16. 10-10 at half time. Hunslet had Hallis, Ratey and Sanderson scoring conversion and 3 penalties for all their points, while Keighley had Hull, Graham, Miller and Agoro scoring all their tries, while Miller kicked over 2 conversions to win this closely fought game. Tomorrow we see 1 game in the League One, as Doncaster face Cornwall in Cornwall's 3rd game ever. That's not going to get old either until they finish their 1st season and start winning games. Then we go on to Sunday, as Easter Sunday sees Midlands Hurricanes face the London Scholars. Midlands coming off a comprehensive win over Cornwall, while Scholars are not in the best of form at this point. Swinton and North Wales Crusaders is going to be the interesting game of the weekend, as these 2 are the top 2 teams in the division. Swinton have been on try-scoring plethora of form at the moment, and North Wales Crusaders have been doing very, very well in the 3 games that they've already played. West Wales Raiders will be the team that has the bye this week, so they will have the week off after their 100 points to 4 defeat of Oldham. After that performance, this is what was said after the game by first the head coach, Ash Bateman. As the head coach, I'm devastated with the result. It's not what we've been training towards, and I take this loss personally. It all ends with me, and we will be working towards making this team a success. We've got a good group of boys who are learning. I have only had this group as a whole for 5 weeks at the most, so we are learning and we will work hard to turn it around. Peter Tiffin, who is the chairman, CEO, added, "Yesterday was a difficult one to take. Myself and Andrew are thoroughly behind Ash and his team and what they are trying to achieve, but it's going to take some time. It's a totally different process to previous Raiders coaches, and I think it will be a massive positive step forward for the club." There were glimpses of how Ash wants the squad to play last weekend in our home game against Rochdale. We have a week off this week, and we are working hard to grow the squad even further, as we have seen a lot of injuries and suspension dent our squad already. I know we have had a few years in the professional game and professional leagues, and some may think that the club is going backwards in the results, but please be patient, as an arrow needs to be pulled back before it can go forward. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking the notification bell for all updates that may be coming your way or any new videos. I do have to thank everyone who watched the video yesterday, as there seems to be a great interest in the derby. Last time I checked, there were 750 people that have watched the videos, and as I'm new to YouTube, this is an absolute record. Thank you once again. But in the meantime, please stay safe, share this video worldwide. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.